Inside the cold, unforgiving walls of Hollowfield Penitentiary, I found myself serving a sentence that echoed the weight of my remorse. Every creak of the rusted iron bars and every distant echo of footsteps felt like the mournful wails of lost souls. But it was within the prison's forgotten depths that I encountered the supernatural, a tale that still sends shivers down my spine. Late one night, when the corridors were cloaked in an oppressive darkness, I heard whispers, ethereal murmurs that seemed to emerge from the very walls of my cell. They spoke of sorrow, of tormented souls who had met their demise within these unforgiving confines. I dismissed it as the deranged musings of a fractured mind, a side effect of prolonged incarceration. However, as the nights wore on, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They beckoned me to follow, promising answers to the questions that plagued my conscience. Unable to resist the pull, I ventured into the labyrinthine corridors, my steps echoing in the haunting silence. The prison, a living relic of a bygone era, revealed its darker secrets as I descended into the bowels of the building. Shadows danced on the cold, damp walls, and the air itself seemed to thicken with a malevolent energy. As I delved deeper, the temperature plummeted, and an unseen force tugged at the frayed edges of my sanity. It was in the solitary confinement wing, a place where even the bravest souls feared to tread, that I encountered the spectral remnants of the prison's tormented past. The cells, long abandoned, held the echoes of anguished cries that reverberated through the desolate corridors. In one cell, the apparition of an inmate materialized before my eyes, a hollow gaze filled with despair. He beckoned me closer, the chains that bound his ghostly form rattling with each ethereal step. The temperature plummeted, and the air seemed to pulse with a haunting energy. Through wordless gestures, the ghost conveyed the story of a wrongful execution, an innocent soul condemned to the gallows within the very walls that now entombed his spirit. As the spectral figure faded into the shadows, I was left with an overwhelming sense of sorrow that clung to me like a heavy shroud. The prison, now awakened with the residual pain of its haunted past, became a symphony of wails and whispers. Each night the tormented spirits sought solace, their ethereal forms lingering in the shadows, forever trapped within the cold, desolate corridors. As my own sentence neared its end, I carried the weight of the prison's ghostly tales with me. The haunted memories, etched into the very fabric of my being, serve as a chilling reminder that some prisons extend far beyond the physical realm. Even now, as a free man, the echoes of Hollowfield Penitentiary continue to haunt my dreams, and the spirits within its walls linger like phantoms in the recesses of my mind.
In the bowels of Ironwood Penitentiary, where shadows clung to the damp, cold walls, I served as a prison guard. One stormy night, a disconcerting fog enveloped the prison, casting an eerie pallor over the desolate corridors. Little did I know that this night would unravel the fabric of my sanity. An order came down from the higher-ups to check on an inmate, Joseph Blackburn, supposedly confined to solitary for a week due to disciplinary issues. I grabbed the heavy ring of keys, each one a testament to the control we maintained over the incarcerated souls within. The solitary confinement wing was a labyrinth of isolation, where time seemed to stretch into an eternal void. As I reached Joseph's cell, the atmosphere became dense with an inexplicable heaviness. The flickering bulb overhead cast dancing shadows that seemed to whisper secrets of forgotten torment. I slid the key into the lock, but the door swung open with an unexpected ease. A sudden chill ran down my spine as I stepped into the dimly lit cell, realizing that Joseph was not there. Panic set in, and a guttural unease gnawed at my senses. Before I could react, the heavy cell door slammed shut behind me with a deafening thud. The metallic clank echoed through the narrow confines of the solitary wing, and a paralyzing dread seized my chest. I was trapped, imprisoned in a space that had held the anguish of countless souls. As I fumbled with the keys, the temperature plummeted, and an ethereal presence manifested in the shadows. The ghostly figure of a previous inmate, a lost soul who had met a gruesome end within these unforgiving walls, materialized before my eyes. The spectral gaze bore into my soul, and a haunting wail echoed through the confined space. Days turned into nights, and the torment escalated. Whispers of despair reverberated through the cell, and the ghostly apparition tormented my sanity with visions of unspeakable horrors. Sleep became a distant memory, replaced by a ceaseless barrage of malevolent whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls. When the prison staff finally discovered my plight, I had descended into madness. The once assertive guard was reduced to a hollow shell, haunted by the ghostly apparition that had claimed my sanity. Hollowfield Penitentiary, a place that thrived on controlling the incarcerated, had become my own personal purgatory. As they pried the cell door open, I cowered in the corner, my eyes vacant and unresponsive. The lost soul, appeased by the torment it had inflicted upon me, faded into the shadows. I was a mere vessel, a casualty of a spectral encounter that defied explanation. The authorities deemed me unfit for the harsh realities of the prison and committed me to an asylum. Within those sterile walls, the tormented whispers persisted, and the echoes of that fateful night continued to resonate in the recesses of my shattered mind. The line between reality and the spectral realm blurred, leaving me forever imprisoned in the haunted corridors of my own fractured psyche. In the small, seemingly ordinary town of Ravens Hollow, there stood an unassuming jail with a history darker than its worn bricks suggested. Local tales spoke of a malevolent spirit that haunted the cells and corridors, a ghost that reveled in tormenting the night security guards. One fateful night, Jake and Lisa, the dedicated security guards assigned to the quiet jail, settled into their routine. As the clock ticked past midnight, a chill settled over the building, and the air became laden with an unseen presence. Whispers echoed through the narrow hallways, chilling the guards to the bone. Footsteps that left no physical trace resonated in the silence, and the dim lights flickered in response to the spectral energy that permeated the jail. The ghostly entity reveled in the fear it instilled, a malevolence that had lingered within those walls for decades. Jake, a seasoned guard with nerves of steel, tried to dismiss the unsettling occurrences as mere figments of his imagination. However, Lisa, a recent addition to the night shift, couldn't shake the feeling that something supernatural lurked in the shadows. As the night wore on, the ghostly torment intensified. Unexplained shadows danced across the security monitors, and distant whispers turned into blood-curdling screams that echoed through the jail. The temperature dropped, and an eerie glow emanated from the cells, casting an otherworldly pallor over the building. In a courageous attempt to confront the unseen force, Jake and Lisa ventured into the heart of the jail. The air thickened with a malevolent energy, and the ghostly entity revealed itself in a fleeting glimpse. A spectral figure, clad in tattered remnants of an old-fashioned prisoner's uniform, lingered in the corners of their vision. Desperation set in as the guards realized the ghost's intentions were far from benign. Cell doors slammed shut on their own, trapping them in a labyrinth of echoing corridors. The ghostly figure, a harbinger of despair, taunted them with anguished moans and ethereal laughter. The guards, caught in a paranormal nightmare, desperately sought an escape. The ghostly entity, fueled by the fear it had instilled, seemed to grow stronger. Shadows enveloped them, and the temperature plummeted to an unbearable chill. In a final act of defiance, Jake and Lisa managed to break free from the spectral trap and raced towards the exit. As they crossed the threshold, the haunting whispers and ghostly apparitions faded into the cold night. The small jail in Ravens Hollow, forever haunted by the malevolent spirit, stood in silence once more. The night security guards, shaken but resilient, knew they would carry the weight of that supernatural encounter with them forever. The ghost of Ravens Hollow had found new victims to torment, leaving behind a tale that would echo through the town for generations.